several changes for improved aerodynamics. The wingtip was extended 9 inches, 23 centimeters, and the wingspan by 1 foot 9 inches, 53 centimeters. The leading edge slats and trailing edge flaps were adjusted. 52. The tail fin was redesigned. The flight deck was improved with the optional FS, electronic flight instrumentation system, and the passenger cabin incorporated improvements similar to those developed on the Boeing 757. 55. The prototype -300, the 1,001 ST-737 built, first flew on February 24, 1984, with pilot Jim McRoberts. 55. It and 2 production aircraft flew a 9-month-long certification program. 56. The 737-300 retrofitted. With aviation partners winglets was designated the -300 SP, Special Performance. The 737-300 was replaced by the 737-700 of the next generation series. 737-400. The 737-400 was launched in 1985 to fill the gap between the 737-300 and the 757-200. In June 1986, Boeing announced the development of the 737-400, 57, which stretched the fuselage a further 10 feet, 3.0 m, increasing the capacity to 188 passengers, and requiring a tail bumper to prevent tail strikes during takeoff and a strengthened wing spar. 58. The -400's first flight was on the 19th of February, 1988, and, after a 7-month forward/500-hour flight testing run, entered service with Piedmont Airlines that October. 59. The last 2 -400's, i.e. the last 737 Classic series, were delivered to CSA Czech Airlines on the 28th of February, 2000. 60. The 737-400 was replaced by the 737-800 of the next generation series. The 737-400 SF was a 737-400 converted to freighter, though it was not a model delivered by Alaska Airlines. Was the first airline to have a 737-400 converted to a freighter. Boeing, and hence the nickname Special Freighter, SF. Alaska Airlines was the first to convert one of their 400s from regular service to an aircraft with the ability to handle 10 pallets. 61. The airline had also converted 5 more into fixed combi aircraft for half passenger and freight. These 737-400 combi aircraft were retired in 2017 and replaced by the 737-700F of the next generation series. 62. 737-500. Shorter by 7 feet 10 in, 2.4 m. The first 737-500 was delivered to Southwest Airlines on the 28th of February, 1990. The 737-500 was offered as a modern and direct replacement of the 737-200. It was launched in 1987 by Southwest Airlines, with an order for 20 aircraft, 63, and it flew for the first time on the 30th of June, 1989. 59. A single prototype flew 375 hours for the certification process, 59, and on the 28th of February, 1990, Southwest Airlines received the first delivery. 43. The -500 incorporated the improvements of the 737 Classic series, allowing longer routes with fewer passengers to be more economical than with the 737-300. The fuselage length of the 737-500 is 1 foot 7 inches, 48 centimeters, longer than the 737-200, accommodating up to 140/58 passengers. Both glass and older-style mechanical cockpits arrangements were available. 59. Using the CFM56-3 engine also gave a 25% increase in fuel efficiency over the older 737-200 SP and engines. 59. The 737-500 has faced accelerated retirement due to its smaller size, after 21 years in service compared to 24 years for the -300. 64, 65. While a few 737-300s were slated for freighter conversion, no demand at all existed for a -500 freighter conversion. The 737-500 was replaced by the 737-600 of the next generation series, though the -600 was not as successful in total orders as the -500.737 third generation. The Boeing 737 Next Generation, abbreviated as 737 Next Gen or 737ing, is the name given to the main model's 737-600/700/800/900 series and the extended range -700/900 variants of the Boeing 737 family. It has been produced since 1996 and introduced in 1997, with a total order of 7,097 aircraft, of which 7,031 have been delivered as of May 2019. 23. The primary goal was to re-engine the 737 with the high-pressure ratio CFM56-7. By the early 1990s, as the MD-80 slowly withdrew from the competition following the introduction of the MD-90, it had become clear that the new A320 family was a serious threat to Boeing's market share. Airbus won previously loyal 737 customers, such as Lufthansa and United Airlines. In November 1993, to stay in the single-aisle competition, Boeing's board of directors authorized the Next Generation program to mainly upgrade the 737 Classic Series. 66. In late 1993, after engineering trade studies and discussions with major customers, Boeing proceeded to launch a second derivative of the Boeing 737, the 737 Next Generation, Ing. -600/700/800/900 series. 1. It featured a redesigned wing with a wider wingspan and larger area, greater fuel capacity, longer range and higher MTOs. It was equipped with CFM56-7 high-pressure ratio engines, a glass cockpit, and upgraded interior configurations. The four main models of the series can accommodate seating for 108 to 215 passengers. It was further developed into additional versions such as the corporate Boeing Business Jet, BBJ, and military P-8 Poseidon aircraft. Following the merger between Boeing with McDonnell Douglas in 1997, the primary competitor for the 737 series remained only the A320 family. 737-600. SAS received the first 737-600 in September 1998. The 737-600, the smallest model of the next generation, was launched by Scandinavian Airlines, SAS, in March 1995 with the first aircraft delivered in September 1998. 67. A total of 69 aircraft without winglets have been produced, with the last one delivered to WestJet in 2006. 1. The 737-600 replaced the 737-500 and is similar to the Airbus A318. 737-700. Southwest Airlines took delivery of first 737-700 in December 1997. The 737-700, the first variant of the next generation, was launched in November 1993 with an order of 63 aircraft. The 700 seats 126 passengers in a 2-class or 149 passengers in a 1-class layout. The launch customer Southwest Airlines took the first delivery in December 1997. 68. The 737-700 replaced the 737-300 and competes with the Airbus A319. The 737-700C is a convertible version where the seats can be removed to carry cargo instead. There is a large door on the lift side of the aircraft. The United States Navy was the launch customer for the 737-700C under the military designation C-40 Clipper. 69. The 737-700 extended range was launched on the 31st of January 2006 and featured the fuselage of the 737-700 and viewings and landing gear of the 737-800. A 737-700 can typically accommodate 126 passengers in 2 classes with arrange similar to the Airbus A319LR. 70. 737-800. Hapag-Lloyd received the first 737-800 in April 1998. The Boeing 737-800 was a stretched version of the 737-700 launched on the 5th of September 1994. The -800 seats 162 passengers in a 2-class or 189 passengers in a high-density, 1-class layout. Launch customer Hapag-Lloyd Flug, now Juifly, received the first one in April 1998. 71. The -800 replaced directly the -400 and aging 727-200 of U.S. Airlines. It filled also the gap left by Boeing's decision to discontinue the MD-80 and MD-90 aircraft, following Boeing's merger with McDonnell Douglas. The 737-800 is the most widely used narrow-body aircraft and competes primarily with the Airbus A320. 72. 737-900. The 737-900 was launched in 1997 and took its first flight on the 3rd of August 2000. It retains the MTO, fuel capacity, trading range for payload and also the exit configuration of the -800, limiting its seat capacity to approximately 177 in a 2-class and 189 in a high-density, 1-class layout. The launch customer Alaska Airlines received the delivery on the 15th of May 2001. The first 737-900 was delivered to Alaska Airlines on the 15th of May 2001. The 737-900 extended range is the newest and largest variant of the 737 generation. An additional pair of exit doors and a flat rear pressure bulkhead increased its seating capacity to 180 passengers in a 2-class and up to 220 passengers in a 1-class configuration. 73. The -900 was introduced to meet the range and passenger capacity of the discontinued 757-200 and to directly compete with the Airbus A321.737 MAX. 4th generation. The Boeing 737 MAX is the name given to the main MAX 737-7/8/9/10 series and high-density MAX 200 variant of the Boeing 737 family. It is offered in 4 main variants, typically offering 138 to 230 seats and a range of 3,215 to 3,825 nautical miles, 5,954 to 7,084 kilometers. The 737 MAX 7, MAX 8, including the denser, 200-seat MAX 200, and MAX 9 replace the 737 to 700, -800, and -900 respectively. The further stretched 737 MAX 10 has also been added to the series. The main development was to re-engine with CFM LEAP 1B very high bypass ratio. On the 20th of July, 2011, Boeing announced plans for a third major upgrade on respectively fourth generation of 737 series to be powered by the CFM LEAP 1B engine, with American Airlines intending to order 100 of these aircraft. 74. On the 30th of August, 2011, Boeing confirmed the launch of the 737 new engine variant, to be called the Boeing 737 MAX. 75, 76, 77. It was based on earlier 737 designs with more efficient LEAP 1B power plants, aerodynamic improvements, most notably split-tip winglets, and airframe modifications. It competes with Airbus A320neo family that was launched in December 2010 and reached 1,029 orders by June 2011, breaking Boeing's monopoly with American Airlines, which had an order for 130 A320neos that July. 78. The 737 MAX had its first flight on the 29th of January 2016, and gained FAA certification on March 8, 2017. 79, 80. The first delivery was a MAX 8 on the 6th of May 2017, to Lion Air's subsidiary Malindo Air, 81, which put it into service on the 22nd of May 2017. 82. As of January 2019, Thesaurus has received 5,011 firm orders. 1. In March 2019, civil aviation authorities around the world grounded the 737 MAX following two hull loss crashes which caused 346 deaths. 83. On December 16, 2019, Boeing announced that it would suspend production of the 737 MAX from January 2020, 84, which was resumed in May 2020. In the mid-year 2020, the FAA and Boeing conducted a series of recertification test flights. 85. On the 18th of November 2020, the FAA cleared the MAX to return to service. Before the aircraft can fly again, repairs must be implemented and airlines' training programs must be approved. Passenger flights in the US are expected to resume before the end of the year. 86. Worldwide, the first airline to resume passenger service was Brazilian low-cost Gol, on December 9, 2020. 87. 737 MAX 7. 737 MAX 7. At the 2018 Farnborough Air Show, the 737 MAX 7, a shortened variant of the MAX 8, was originally based on the 737-700, flying 1,000 nautical miles, 1,900 kilometers, farther and accommodating two more seat rows at 18% lower fuel costs per seat. 88, 89. The redesign uses the 737-8 wing and landing gear, a pair of over-wing exits rather than the single-door configuration, a 46-inch longer, 1,200 mm, aft fuselage and a 30-inch longer, 760 mm, longer forward fuselage, structural regauging and strengthening, and systems and interior modifications to accommodate the longer length. 90. Entry into service with launch operator Southwest Airlines was expected in January 2019. but the airline deferred these orders until 2023-2024.91-92. The 737 MAX 7 replaced the 737-700 and was predicted to carry 12 more passengers and fly 400 nautical